All right. Thank you, Zeke. I appreciate that, herpes. Thank you, sir. If I were to deny it, Zeke, I'd be a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Now, I know. Hey, once again, LTG coming at you. We got Rod sitting behind the scene. We got Zeke's starting everything up for us, and we have
special guest Cayla Adams.
Special guest Cayla Adams coming at us. This is actually
she calls herself special guest.
No, I'm glad she did. So this is actually Zeke's wife.
Yeah.
Right?
Coming up on our year anniversary, actually.
Aww.
Zeke, man, I said it before, and I'm gonna say it again. I don't know how you pulled this one off, my man.
I don't even know this day. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say, man. Very intelligent, very attractive. Thank you for coming in. We appreciate you being here. Have you watched a lot of the Skinwalker Ranch stuff? Do you know much about it?
I did a while ago. It's been a minute, so I'm not super up touch on it, but...
Proceed, ma'am. Before we were so rudely interrupted.
Technical difficulties.
All right. Proceed.
So I've touched up on it recently, but it's been a minute, so I do know about, like, the new people that are owning it are trying to do a lot of the investigating in it, but they're having a hard time, especially with the digging. And like with all the radiation that's up there, they're having a hard time having safe places that they can go, which is really interesting to me. And it makes you wonder what's going on with that radiation.
All right. So can I interject my personal feelings on this?
Just give it to us.
All right.
You run the shit, so go ahead.
You gotta say it into the mic.
Give
Zeke.
it to us.
All right. I'll give it to you, bro. Here it comes. All right. Thank you, first of all, for being here. And Zeke, once again, thank you for being here. Rod, thank you for being here once again and always supporting what we're doing here, my man. I really appreciate it.
All right,
But let me get to this particular topic of what we're talking about with this particular area and everything going on with the Skinwalker Ranch and the secrets of the Skinwalker Ranch, which you can find on History Channel, right? Now, I have literally, I swear, and I know this is going to make me sound like a complete idiot, but I'm such an idiot anyway, it doesn't really matter. I've watched it probably 5 times.
Yeah.
The Secrets of Skinwalker Ranch at the History Channel that I've seen on Hulu. I've watched it at least 5 times. I know that makes me sound like an idiot, like I said just a second ago, but
You know how many times I've watched Forensic Files? It's okay.
I know, right? All right. Thank you, Zeke. I appreciate that, herpes. Thank you, sir. But anyway, so what I'm saying is I watched it again, and I watch these things, and the more and more I watch them, I have a couple of things that occur. So Travis Taylor is an astrophysicist from University of Alabama, right? So he's the blonde guy, kind of almost a kind of flat top, but I mean, super intelligent, but he sounds like a hick.
Yeah.
Right. So he's almost misleading. You hear him and you're like, oh, this guy's an idiot, but he's super intelligent, right? You know who I'm talking about, right?
Right.
So super intelligent, but I could sense from him when he first showed up that he was very much along the lines of me, of calling bullshit right away. Like, yeah, whatever, Skinwalker Ranch, bullshit, blah. If we can't quantify this in a scientific matter, then it doesn't exist. And I looked at the hell just happened.
I don't know. Let me check the audio.
No, man, like mine shut off completely. Oh shit, aliens are fucking with us. They don't want us to say this shit. Either that or Brandon Fugel and all his people up at his little area are screwing, hacking away. They heard
Satellite above us and everything.
Skinwalker Ranch. Shut them up. Anyway, so I look at all that and I say, okay, there's something going on there. Okay, in the Uinta Basin, there's something happening. But I also look at it and I say,
Oh, yeah, you didn't even hear when
That's
you
why,
opened his
because
mic.
it's not connected.
What's not connected?
that's why. See, there are no ghosts. It's just loose connections. I pulled it free due to Allie sitting
He was
next to
already
me.
freaking out.
I know. I was going, what the shit,
But
man?
I'm a skeptic.
Yeah.
I'm a skeptic. I don't believe in ghosts.
Oh, but now that I see that it pulled out, what does it say? All it says is that I find this all it's bullshit.
But you were scared. You.
Oh, for a second I was going,
Yeah.
what the hell? But then I analyzed the situation with a scientific method.
I guess we're
and I
safe for
said,
now. No satellites.
Yeah. So we're
Damn
good.
it.
So anyway, so looking at it, I look at everything. Is that where I ended off? Just kind of looking
Yeah.
at everything at Skinwalker Ranch, right? Is that where I ended? All right. So,
Yeah, but let's cut it short on the Skinwalker Ranch so we can get right into her topic because we're gonna run out of time.
Oh, because we were finishing up with elevator lobby.
Yeah. So
All right. Thank you for getting me back on topic. Let's get back on. Let's get back on that. So, damn, we're gonna have to do that one next, and we're gonna have to make that next one quick, huh?
yeah, it's 1:44. So let's get
All
right into it.
So anyway, sorry. Continue. Proceed on. How the hell did I get? How'd you guys let me get started on that?
I don't even know.
You
I don't
started
even
it
know
off
either,
on.
right?
You started off
I
on
just started
Skinwalker
talking
Ranch.
and
I
you
was
guys
like,
are like, okay, whatever, G. No, get my ass back on track. What's wrong with you guys?
what do you think I've been trying to do?
Proceed. No, dude, come on now.
Hey, the goal was Skinwalker Ranch. We had to get a little
Yeah,
bit of
we
the
had to get there, right?
Skinwalker Ranch in there.
But
We had to go a little bit.
let's finish with elevator lobby. So what have you seen in that area or that particular larger building? We're not going to
The whole
name
building.
it within that area.
Well, we were just reviewing camera footage, like I said, for different cameras that go around that building. So we-
Around it or within it?
within it, like around the insides of the building.
Okay.
So we were reviewing a couple times, and there was obvious obstructions in the cameras, and you could obviously see that there's like in one of them there's a moth, and you could see that the moth is going around, flying around, just a normal moth. And then you go to another camera or the same camera at a later time. There was a situation where we were looking at it, and it was an unexplainable thing just because we had seen the moth. We had seen that the moth was flying around, and then on a later time of that camera, there is a white object that is seen fluttering around. So it could be any insect, bug, fly,
Okay.
whatever.
Yep.
But this time, it had a tail that was following with it. So like it was catching the camera at a slower thing that it was dragging. But that same camera was catching that moth just fine, fluttering around.
But the lights were off, Zeke, right? And so it's an infrared camera? Or is it a regular camera?
No, because there's lights that portray from the elevator lobby itself. So there's always that artificial light going.
So it's not an infrared camera?
It switches,
Not
right?
that one because it's an older one.
So does it switch from, like you just said, from a
So
regular camera
on-
to infrared? Or
So
is
where
it always
she's
infrared?
where she's talking about the moth situation, we'll name it as, that's a different part of the elevator lobby. So that was on +3, right? So where it goes into that old Ragnar space, and
Well, wait a minute. So that one is up on the third floor?
on 3rd floor, where we saw the footsteps was in the grand hall bathroom.
Where is that camera oriented in the area of the grand hall? Is it southwest?
So
Is
it would be so the
northeast?
bathroom
Is it-
camera is that northeast side.
Yeah.
So the northeast side of things.
Right, the northeast
Yeah.
side of
It's
things.
down as people walk into the bathroom.
Right, correct. And then the elevator lobby camera we're talking about is more of that southeast corner,
Yep.
but on +3.
Got it. So southeast, but +3 because there's nothing in the actual elevator lobby itself now. Correct.
Correct.
See, that's so weird to me.
You know,
Why the hell would you get rid of that camera
Oh.
of the elevator lobby? Because it used to be in the southwest corner, filming down to where you could see the elevator and you could see the front doors.
Nope.
Why would you get rid of that and put one up to the other side?
The camera's still there, but the license is expired.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah, I want to say
Why would you do that?
it's gateway.
Because it's looking right at the front door, which is what you want. You want to know when somebody breaches that front door, not up at the southeast corner shining down where they've already breached the front door and they're already into your actual stronghold.
Right. Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Yeah. The only one covering the exit, I want to say, is when you're coming out of the elevator on +3. That one I want to say the licensing
fuck?
expired.
You know,
Yeah.
kind of makes me want to go buy a camera on Amazon, right? And
Like one of those not the GoPro, but like a
Just one
No,
of those
tell me
like-
what you
hunting
want.
cameras.
you know, one of those like film cameras, like small ones, right?
Tell me what you
Yeah.
want because we'll set it up on the first. We'll set it up in the elevator lobby on the first.
No,
floor.
I was thinking about buying that camera, right? Because I saw it on Amazon. It was like $200. Buying it, right?
Yeah, so tell me what you
And-
want.
Putting it to record, right?
Yeah.
On the restroom, on that restroom to see what we can get.
Well, not only the restroom, but once again on elevator lobby.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: this is the first thing I've heard from anybody about anything occurring.
This is the first time I've heard of it. I did hear that one of the toilets likes to flush on its own by.
Look,
Yeah.
I don't apply
No.
anything to that. I just
The male restroom?
Yeah,
The males?
I heard it by Ramon from maintenance.
sure, okay, and that's fine. I hear that and I say, whatever. There's something. There's a timer. Whatever. I write that one off completely. But when I have people telling me that we actually see a shadow figure going in, I then look at that and I say, I'll give that a little more weight than a toilet flushing by itself that's on a motion sensor anyway. I look at that and I say, bullshit, shit can happen. You can have light change in some way, shape, or form because something goes by a window outside that changes that particular shadow that makes that toilet flush.
Not to
right?
mention water with electricity.
Right, exactly. Thank you.
Only thing I would say about that is it's an older building, so obviously it is going to have some weird things go on with it. It's going to creak, it's going to crack. It's
Yeah,
gonna-
and that's what
But
that's
the-
what
but
we
that
have
kinda-
mentioned
yeah,
before.
but that kind
right?
of goes
Like,
along with
yeah.
what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, so you can't always say that those things aren't just going to happen with the old building itself.
Right. Okay. All right. I got that. I get that. Makes sense. I'll buy into that a little bit. But I look at that and I say, once again, the majority of the stuff we've seen, Zeke, has happened where?
on that
In that
specific building.
particular area.
And that specific, it's that southeast corner.
Yeah, the fucking elevator lobby,
Yeah.
right? Like something's going on in there. Even me being as much of a skeptic as I am, and you haven't been privy to all the bullshit that I've thrown down, but
Yeah.
I'm a big time skeptic. Now it doesn't mean I don't believe or I'm not willing to believe. It just means that once again, I'm more willing to say there are rational explanations rather than paranormal explanations. And so, but everything you've told me, Zeke, everything you've told me, Rod, I start saying, shit.
You got to pay attention.
Yeah, I might be wrong on this place. Maybe it is possible on this place. I might be wrong.
know,
I might
now-
be wrong.
Now thinking about it, because I'm looking at the camera right now, I might take the spirit box and set it right there in front of the camera
Do it.
and just let it go off.
Yeah,
See if we get anything.
absolutely. But there's where I'm saying, right? Like, Zeke, you know, right? Even though you know I'm a skeptic and I call bullshit on a majority of the things, you know I'm still going, oh, elevator lobby, there's something going on.
There has to be. It's not.
Yeah.
There has to be. There is so much shit built up. Now let's look at this, and I don't want to get off to this particular topic yet, but we look at Skinwalker Ranch. But I don't see the same amount of evidence to say that maybe it's because I haven't experienced this personal evidence.
Yeah.
But there's enough stuff going on there.
Enough stigma.
There's enough stuff going on there to make me think, yeah, probably paranormal rather than some type of a normal explanation. However, with elevator lobby, we start building these blocks, and I'm now, even as much of a skeptic as I am, I'm now more saying probably something's happening rather than my belief. I want to believe that it's all bullshit. Something's going on there.
The amount of
Yeah.
energy that has proved itself over and over and over again, that's something you can't deny.
Right. Like at this point I can't. And if I were to deny it, Zeke, I'd be a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Now I know you guys know I'm a fucking idiot already.
Nah,
but I
but-
would
wouldn't
be
say you're an
even
idiot.
more.
I'd say you're pretty arrogant.
I would be even more of an idiot. No, and I'll buy that too. I'm arrogant as shit. Anybody's ever worked with me, they know I'm an arrogant motherfucker, right? But I think you're right. I think if I start denying everything that we're finding at elevator lobby, I would just be arrogant, I'd be ignorant, and I would be an idiot. Something is happening there.
So going with that and what we kind of reached upon earlier, so you're finding all this information out, right?
Right.
You're kind of opening your eyes up to it more. You're accepting the elevator lobby topic more and more and more. So you're getting more convinced that those things are happening, and it's kind of
In that particular area. Yes.
So if you take that with like the evidence of Skinwalker Ranch, there's evidence that everyone has compiled on these objects, like the UFO sightings that they were saying. And even if you go with all that information, you're still going to give that energy power. And so you're going to give it more of that understanding of, okay, so the more I believe in this, it's going to have more of a influence.
It's like that placebo effect, you know?
No. And I see what you're saying, but I still, and I don't know if it's because of my own personal arrogance of I've never personally experienced something at Skinwalker Ranch where I personally have experienced something in elevator lobby.
Yeah.
Now maybe that's a flaw in my particular view on things, but
Well, and the thing is, it's just like we've all experienced something in there, right?
all of us have.
But then
and there's the thing, without question,
Yeah.
everybody has had something happen
But then
in
again,
elevator lobby.
and then you look at Skinwalker Ranch. What do you see? People who have commented that they have experienced something in there, but
But not everybody.
yeah,
Not everybody. And their excuse
it's
is
just the people that work there have
Yeah.
experienced it. Like,
and-
come on,
And there's where I start kind of going, all right, elevator lobby, everybody, literally everybody has experienced something.
and we work there, right? But
Yeah.
we're not getting paid to say this.
No,
We're
exactly. But Skinwalker Ranch, to do Secrets of Skinwalker Ranch, to come on the show,
Yeah,
you get
because
paid to come on the show.
Discovery Channel hasn't gone to
Would they-
fucking Gateway and recorded there and
Ex-
say, "Oh, you gotta say that it's haunted." No,
Would they put me on the show at Skinwalker Ranch if I said I've been on there for 20 years and I never experienced a goddamn thing?
no.
They wouldn't put me on the show. But if they threw some money out and said, "Hey, $1,000, thanks for giving us your story," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I saw
had something
portals open, and I saw these things crawl out of the portals, and I saw this, and I saw that." No, but once again, I don't want to
I
say
saw my grandma.
I don't want to see people are lying or they didn't experience what they experienced. But I think you need to look at it from a very sterile point of view to look at it and say, why are people claiming they saw what they saw? Were they compensated for it? If they were compensated for it, then I think that takes their particular testimony
And it's biased.
and it drops it quite a bit, in my opinion. But if somebody comes forward and says, "I saw all this stuff, pay me at anything you want to pay me," i.e. Bob Lazar with Area 51, never made a cent off of anything he's ever talked
Actually
about.
got blacklisted, so.
Got blacklisted and is even pissed at himself for saying anything because he was like, "Man, I was in the know on this future technology, right? And I'm pissed at myself for saying anything because I'd still be there working on it." But there's my point, right? Bob Lazar never made a cent off of it. These people that show up on History Channel, bullshit if they didn't receive a payment to give their testimony on the show,
To show what they want to show.
Everybody has to get paid.
right? Now, do I blame them on some level? No,
mean-
I don't.
If I got money like that, I will be saying,
You want to flash enough money in front of me? We talked about it before. You want to flash enough money in front of me? I'll say, "Oh yeah, I saw ghosts. Shit,
Yeah.
yeah. What is that? 500 grand? Thank you. All right. Yeah. Oh, I saw ghosts. I saw it there, and I saw it do this. and I
not
saw it
even
do that."
five,
Touched me.
not
Yeah,
even
it
500
touched me
grand.
too.
Give me $10,000 and
No,
I'll say
but
anything
but
you want.
See what I'm saying, right? So,
I am a ghost.
I think I'm a ghost.
I see
sitting in
that
front of
people.
you.
The greed
But we
of
need
humanity.
but I think we need to look at things if we want, because as I've said before,
Yeah.
and both of you know, and I'll bring you in on it. So I have 2 separate degrees in paranormal investigation. I have a degree in parapsychology, and I'm just finishing up my cryptozoology degree.
Oh, that's awesome.
So the reason I did that is because I want to be educated on what we're talking about. I don't want to be this dumb guy I'm a dumb guy anyway, but I don't want to be this dumb, fat, gray bearded old guy that sits here and says, oh, I don't believe it because I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I'm a guy that says I don't believe it because here are the reasons. I know your arguments behind what you're saying, and here are my counter arguments.
Yeah.
That's why I'm doing everything that I do and studying the things that I study. So I look at it and I truly want to believe. I want to believe. And you know that, Zeke. And you know that, Rod. I want to believe this shit's going on. I want to believe there are aliens. I want to believe there are ghosts. I want to believe there's all this other weird phenomena happening.
Well,
but I need actual real evidence to convince me of that.
It's just
And
like we
all the
talked about Brandon's house.
Hold on. All the classes I've taken, nothing has convinced me any of this shit's real. And that's what really bothers me. Because I'm saying, even in the classes I'm taking, I am 8 classes into my 12 credit class of cryptozoology. And they go through and they talk about Bigfoot. They talk about Loch Ness Monster. They talk about the Titan boas we talked about. They talked about the Yeti and all these other things, the Chupacabra and all these other things. And every one of them, at the end of it, you see at the end of the chapter, it's bullshit. Nobody's ever found a single piece of evidence that 100% suggests those things are real. So I look at that and I go, well, then it's fucking bullshit. Like, come on, man. Why are we wasting our time? Why am I spending $400 on a degree in cryptozoology when you tell me at the end of every chapter that it's bullshit and nothing's ever been proved?
And with that, because you guys had a topic of the Bigfoot and all of those.
Yes.
You've had a couple of conversations about that.
But real quick, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. I do not ever mean, and you know this, I'm not saying you never saw what you saw, right? I am not discounting what you saw or what you felt.
High.
You know that, right? No. Seriously, though, because I never want anybody to come on here to think that I'm saying you're full of shit. I'm not saying that. I'm saying maybe what you saw might be attributed to something else. You did see what you saw. Right. You felt what you felt. I 100% agree with that. I'm just saying it could be attributed to something. You get that, right, Zeke?
Yeah. You
Okay.
got to look at it that way anyways.
Because I never want anybody to think I'm coming on here to make fun of them or to give them shit for what they believe, because it's not the way I think. I believe you saw what you saw. And from your testimony, look, do I have goosebumps right now? From what you talked about, I got goosebumps from what you talked about. I went, oh, fuck, man. I know Zeke. I know his character. I know the kind of dude he is.
Yeah.
And if he's telling me this shit, like maybe there's something to this. But
as
then
someone who's not being paid and who is just doing this out of pure, this is my story and I want to go out and tell this.
Exactly my point,
and
right?
that's the freshest way you can get it.
Yep. So before I started on that, where were you going with what you were saying?
It was kind of towards like the education that you are getting, and it should be explaining, if it's a class on these things and it's supposed to be explaining these things, then it should be going towards that, is this real? But if it proves at the end of it it's not real every single time, are you going to believe it? But then you have Zeke here who comes on is like, hey, so this happened to me. I have all of these facts that have happened to me. Does that still give it value if it's real?
Well, no, I'm telling you right now, I put more towards what Zeke said than anything I got in that class. And let me tell you why. Everything that you just kind of said. I've had the time to sit down with Zeke. I have a pretty good bullshit meter. Mm-hmm. It's what saved my life for 23 years as a cop. You know, I could tell if somebody's bullshitting
That
me.
gut instinct.
Yeah, absolutely, right? Saved my life. That's why I'm still here.
Yeah.
Talking to Zeke and just listening, and there are people that are out there that can read how you react. And, you know, if Zeke's telling a story, I'm like, oh, yeah. He could see that, oh, yeah, he believes me. I'm going to keep feeding him. Mm-hmm. But no, I just sat there and listened and stared at him with a stone face. And he kept telling me, and I was like, Rod, I think Zeke's telling us the truth here. Like, he really believes he saw what he saw.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to give weight to that. Mm-hmm. Now, that's what I'm saying. That's why I look at that particular incident and I go, shit, I know Zeke. I know how he thinks. I know what he saw. He told me what he saw. I want to believe him. And so I do believe him, but on all this other stuff, I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Right. How I see it, you're reading it in that black and white, monotone. Oh, well, this is the next chapter. But
Yeah,
then we
yeah.
actually get to sit down and listen to the stories. You can use your bullshit detector. You can't use that on words. So,
Right.
like, I don't know. That's how I see it.
No, I am with you on that. That makes sense.
But yeah, it's one of those things. I think we have to see it. You have to see the mannerisms in people when they're talking about the stories. It can't be, well, I saw this and I felt this, but did you really? Like,
There you go.
and after you tell yourself a lie for so long,
You believe it.
Yep.
Right?
It's the basic psychic.
Exactly. And that's the thing, right? And so even no matter if, let's say I sit here and tell you I saw a saber-toothed tiger, right? And I've told people that for 15 years, even if it's
with every detail of what happened,
Right.
you can convince someone.
even if it's bullshit, after 15 years, going back to what you said, you put me on a lie detector test and they're going to say, well, he's telling the truth. He saw a saber-toothed tiger. No, I've convinced myself enough that you now believe me.
And you can convince other people.
And I convince
to
other
say,
people. Exactly.
Yeah, he did do this. Like, he gave me chills. Just
Exactly.
Which that ties back into the whole manifestation. That's
Right.
manifesting.
It does. It does, right? It
Right,
does.
right,
It
right.
really does. And so that's why my whole goal for doing this, just so you know, is that and this is where I was trying to go to before I branched way off, is I want to believe.
Mm-hmm.
I want to believe in paranormal, as you and Rod, as you and Zeke both know. I want to believe in the paranormal. I want to believe in these cryptids and all this shit that's out there. I want to believe in aliens. I want to believe in all this shit. I really do. But you have to convince me with real physical scientific evidence in order for me to say, yeah, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you have 50 people that sit there and say, I saw lights in the sky, therefore it's an alien. Fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Millions of people look at the sun every day and say, I see a sun. Billions of people see it and say, yep, there's a sun.
That's there.
Just because that says that doesn't mean it make it true. Now we know it's true because of science and everything else we've done.
Yeah.
The Phoenix lights that we've talked about before is a perfect example. These Phoenix lights floating over Phoenix, Arizona. All the people in the valley saw those things. Okay, yeah, they were real. Everybody saw them. Doesn't make them supernatural,
Yeah, it could be
alien,
explained
or
by
paranormal. They could be military aircraft of some type, but we don't know. But just because all these people saw them doesn't automatically mean, oh, they're alien. So anyway, I know I got way off and we kind of jumped all over the place, but thank you for coming in.
Oh, of course.
Tell everybody once again your name and why you were here.
Cayla Adams, and
Cayla
I'm coming
Adams.
to chat with
Pick
these
up.
guys to see what they can bring up.
Get your mic up a little more.
A little bit more.
Now, repeat your name.
Cayla Adams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you?
I'm a special guest, and I come to kind of debate with these guys and see what they can come up with.
So do I sound like a complete idiot, or do I sound
really.
Do I? I'm not asking you, asshole.
Oh.
I'm asking Cayla. Do I sound like a complete idiot, or do I sound like somewhat rooted in common sense?
You're a skeptic who wants the facts to believe what is in front of him.
Because I'm willing to believe it, right? Do you truly believe I'm willing to believe that?
Yeah.
That's huge.
One
All right.
one good question.
Go.
Have you seen the new episodes of Obi-Wan on Disney Plus?
We gotta talk about this later.
Oh, dude.
All right, where can they find us? Get us.
Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, and TikTok as PSSAfterHours. Where can they send us mail to?
paranormalafterhours@gmail.com. Hey, everybody, once again, LTG signing off for Rod, for Cayla, for Zeke. Once again, saying thank you, everybody. Be safe, watch the 6, keep your powder dry, and remember, things are going to get a little weird.
Out.